Forbes, the world's largest financial institution, has confirmed that $60,000 per XRP is guaranteed, and that will take place in only a year. Indeed, the price of XRP has been verified to be above $60,000. Moreover, a number of errors have verified a price that is comparable. For instance, a recent XRP price glitch was captured a few days ago, and it was shown live on television, projecting the price of XRP to be $21,355 per XRP. Several Wall Street executives publicly stated that selling XRP now would be like selling Apple before it reached the stock market, i.e., before the huge boom when trillions of dollars started streaming into XRP. This was also reported by numerous other analysts. This is currently taking place, for instance, because BlackRock, JP Morgan, and several other financial organizations have invested in XRP. If you talk about XRP, you have to talk about free money because we are giving you guys the chance to get up to $100 with a free XRP on this channel and enter an XRP giveaway. BlackRock is planning to invest over $9 trillion in XRP just in 2025, and JP Morgan is expected to do the same. However, they also intend to start using XRP for their internal payments for all retail and institutional payments after receiving a clear green light from the US government. It's really quite simple. Simply create an account on Upload by clicking on my link in the description, then complete the transaction. Additionally, you need to subscribe, like, and comment. But you will receive up to 100 XRP after completing it, which should take less than 5 minutes. And you can certainly proceed if you wish to receive even more money. And participate in RealFi's huge XRP giveaway by simply following them on their X page, retweeting their post, liking, and commenting. This will help them finish Phase 1 of their plan to tokenize $654.39 trillion on the XRP ledger. Let's dive straight into the video after that. According to Forbes, XRP will probably be valued $60,000 by 2030, which will reduce Bitcoin. Additionally, numerous news publications reported on this, and numerous sources, including Google, Bing, and even ChatGPT, confirmed it. However, the institutional adoption of XRP has been taking place, and the price projection of $10,000 to $35,000 or even $10,000 to $60,000 over the past few days has been quite realistic and sensible. Consider this. A significant supply shock is likely to occur when billions and trillions of dollars are injected into the XRP ledger. Due to a supply shock, there will be a shortage of XRP but a huge demand, which will drive up the price of XRP quickly. According to Jimmy Valley, managing director of the international venture capital firm Play.ht Capital, XRP may be worth anywhere from $10,000 to $35,000 per unit once it is regulated and deemed the world's bridge currency. That in and of itself is very bullish, but when you consider XRP's global scalability and the fact that both the founder of XRP and Ripple's own CEO and CTO publicly stated that XRP was created for $10,000 and needed to be scalable to support 7.5 billion people, this announcement makes perfect sense. The $10,000 per XRP becomes increasingly obvious as we approach those levels of worldwide adoption, and it eventually approaches $60,000 per XRP. For instance, the Bank of America recently declared that it would start purchasing XRP. Consider this from a very large perspective. Once more, we are discussing the removal of an even greater portion of the XRP supply from the retail market and its subsequent transfer to institutional ownership. They are attempting to amass all of the XRP that is in their supply, since the figure is reportedly as high as 100 billion XRP. However, it's clear that won't occur given the large scale as reported by the Bank of America, Ripple Labs, and XRP. For instance, they have made XRP far more valuable with a limited supply. You don't want to have a billion XRP to utilize if you had to facilitate $1 billion. It's simply too costly and inefficient. Therefore, it is possible that instead of providing Bank of America with 100 billion XRP to facilitate $100 billion, they will receive 1 billion XRP, which is significantly more valuable. As a result, they will require less XRP and more money to be facilitated. This is precisely what Ripple's CTO has already stated on several occasions, notably when he said that XRP is more predictable, more rational, and more effective than $1. And when more and more money starts to join the process, the numbers will line up, even though it drives him insane. For instance, the Japanese central bank announced to the public that all Japanese banks will utilize XRP, as you can see when you hear this. You must consider the amount of money that Japan facilitates. We are discussing trillions of dollars that are facilitated on a weekly and daily basis rather than annually. This sum is the amount of money that will enter the XRP ledger. Additionally, there will be a significant increase. If you look closely, you'll see that the RealFi team has announced that they are tokenizing real estate and putting it on the XRP ledger. According to their announcement, we are happy to report that the actual token has successfully completed all testing and validation procedures and will soon be available for release on the XRP ledger. A larger objective to facilitate the tokenization and smooth integration of the $654.39 trillion global real estate industry into the RealFi ecosystem has begun with this milestone. However, they failed to mention that the XRP ledger is the foundation upon which the real token is being developed, and that every dollar that is used or falls into the real token ultimately flows through XRP. Accordingly, when discussing $654.39 trillion in the real estate market, the actual token is being used. XRP will end up with that money, therefore the real token will experience a supply shock, and XRP will experience a supply shock. It will also flow into the real token, meaning you will cause a large supply shock, and the real token will surge. Additionally, the entire amount of $654.39 trillion will be on the XRP ledger, which means that every transaction will burn XRP. The price of both will rise when fresh money is introduced into the XRP ecosystem. That token and XRP are going to soar. Since the real token hasn't launched yet, consumers can place their orders by going to payrealfly.com and selecting Real Token in order to get ready for the release. The idea is that all of the money will flow into a real token as soon as it releases. From there, it will quickly surge back into XRP, and as their prices grow and soar, we will witness real tokens and XRP either battling or standing side by side. Two extremely costly assets will be used to facilitate money on the XRP ledger. XRP for all payment transactions and real estate and tokenization, which will result in a genuine token. I would now like to take a moment to briefly review this video. And the most important thing here is that XRP is made for $60,000 and will be $60,000. Forbes and several other news sources have stated that XRP will be $60,000 as well. But Forbes isn't the only thing to consider, is it? When we examine this, we are discussing the inflow of institutional funds into XRP. We discuss the possibility of investing trillions of dollars in XRP, and it is literally happening right now. For example, RealFi is one of the projects that will enable the development of the XRP ledger, which will be valued $654.3 trillion in real estate. And it will happen very soon. It's not just RealFi, which is why I advise you to follow them on XBait once more. There are other large governments, central banks, and financial institutions like Japan, which plans to purchase XRP and